Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is P.A.N, podcast about nothing. I'm your host, Matthew Walden, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Alex and Jesse. Say hi.
How's it going, boys?
I'm glad to be here. I sound so excited.
I know. I couldn't believe it. So for those of you who don't know, we had our pilot episode last week, which was hosted by none other than Jesse Goshen down there.
You're welcome.
And he did a fantastic job. And the premise of the P.A.N podcast about nothing is the host picks a topic and the two co-hosts will battle it out for MVP, most valuable podcaster. And I can assure you, if you've watched the first episode, the host gets to pick no matter who, no matter what. He gets to judge it however he likes. And it's definitely not rigged, Jesse, is it? It's definitely not rigged.
Definitely not rigged. This is a completely fair, precise, accurate, no BS podcast with the most explicit, painstaking, detailed logistics, and we don't falter ever with anything.
Absolutely not. And I'm definitely not going to hold a grudge against Jesse for last week. I can assure you that. So this one's going to be completely fair. This one's going to be completely fair. I can assure you that. So before we get into the topic, what's new with you guys?
Well,
Alex,
I would
say,
well, thankfully, as of this recording, we are now a week away from a massive storm that moved in, and we all lost power. And for those of you that don't know, me and Jesse are roommates, and we experienced, what was it? I would say 5 days, right?
Like 4 or 5 nights. That's how I counted my time. What are the dogs doing?
We lost power for about 4 or 5 nights, and honestly, it was just miserable the entire time. Thankfully, I had work, so I was able to get out of the apartment and go to work where we had power, but everyone else here, I mean, they were just left to stew in the no power, no AC, with occasional breaks into going into like cars and whatnot. But all around, just the week's been rough, but we're out of it now. We got power, obviously. Life's been pretty okay.
So we had the worst storm we've had in the past 30, 40 years. We've never even experienced a storm like this. There was trees down everywhere. Power outages everywhere. 330,000 people lost power. Thankfully, there was no deaths.
There was like 70 or 80K alone in Terre Haute. So
yeah,
it was absolutely crazy. Definitely. Thank you to the linemen out there. They definitely worked their ass off. Did a great job.
Yes.
But shout out to the linemen and the people that were on social media bashing them. They can perish.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell. They were mad that their houses were hot while the linemen were out in the hot sun trying to get us power back.
Yeah, because they were the only people that needed their power on. No one else. They were priority number one. All I know is that if some serious stuff happens in the future, whether it's a hurricane or something as severe as a nuclear fallout, I know who the hell I'm avoiding. And if they come and encroach on my territory, it'll be shoot on sight at that point. I don't care. I mean, it might be a Nerf gun. It might be, or like a slingshot with a rock. I don't know, but it's.
We're a water gun. We got water guns.
We got water guns.
And also, to put it in perspective, we had numerous different trucks come out from like places like Chicago, places in Michigan. Like we had a bunch of different crews coming from all the surrounding states. So I'm very thankful for them.
85% of the people working in Indiana were out of state because of how poorly prepared Indiana, specifically where we live at Terre Haute, like it was so poorly just prepared. The preparedness was absolutely terrible, and like 90% of the damages were just from winds. So you got to think. I mean, we're technically on the northeastern tip of Tornado Alley. What if a tornado had come through here?
Yeah, wasn't it like was it 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts?
It was like 90 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 to 100, which absolutely devastated where we live, and definitely our area was not prepared for any such thing like this. But hopefully, if there is a next time, God forbid, they will be better prepared. For
Absolutely.
sure.
But yeah, I've been fine. Thanks for asking that. I appreciate it.
I said you guys. I said
I know, we just went off on a wicked tangent. That was pretty much like most of what I was going to talk about. But other than that, work sucks. It's awful. Hate it. The only thing that has made it any worthwhile going there and then having to work is just coming home and thinking of not being there, being surrounded by pets, my fiance, and Diablo 4.
Diablo 4, baby.
Diablo 4.
I love how we all bought Diablo 4 and got about 5 minutes of playtime in it, and then we all lost power for days.
Yeah. You were able to play it like 2 or 3 days sooner than me or Alex were. So
right.
That was kind of some BS, but
I was so excited. So excited. And I played it a day and a half, and then the worst storm ever came in, and then just devastated us. But then you guys even got more screwed because I went 3 days without power. You guys had to go roughly 5. But I will say this. We got about 10 seconds notice before the storm hit.
I didn't get an update from WTHI until 30 minutes after the front had rolled through and taken down limbs.
And then they acted like they let us know. They were like, massive storm. We told you guys. I hope everybody was stayed inside. And
that's the equivalent of like being shot like at a crime scene, and then the EMTs and the cops and the detectives show up like an hour later, and they're like, "Look out!"
Now I will say,
you're already dead. You're literally comatose, and your last seconds of brain activity are already taking place, and they're like, "Look out! Get out of the way! They're going to shoot you."
Now I will say this: my girlfriend, she got like an Amber Alert notification, which I didn't. She's over there taking a nap. She's in the bedroom taking a nap. I'm in the living room with the dog. I'm getting ready to go play Diablo 4, and her phone just starts going just nuts. And I'm like, holy shit! So I jump up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Was that your phone? What's going on? And she's like, oh, don't worry, I got it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go sit back down and I just start hearing these crazy winds, and I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like, Ruby, we got to go outside. You need to go potty. And then so we run outside and I see this storm start coming in. I see trees like almost sideways. I'm like, holy fuck. And then next thing I know, limbs start flying off my neighbor's tree. My dog's running around. Her hair's standing up. She's grabbing the limbs and running around. I'm like, holy fuck, Ruby, we got to go inside. And we run inside. I go tell Mary, I'm like, hey, you need to get up. I don't know if there's a tornado. I don't know what's going on. And the next thing I know, my phone goes off. It's my mom, and she goes, holy shit. And my mom saying,
that's when you know it's serious.
Yeah, no shit. My mom saying, holy shit, versus me saying there might be a tornado. She was more worried about my mom saying, holy shit. That's what got her out of bed. She was like, tornadoes. I sleep through those. I don't know what her deal is. It's just a little tornado.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just some wind and rain.
That's it. It's not much. So
to put things on the perspective with the Diablo session of that, I had just gotten it maybe 20 minutes before the storm, after all the waiting for the download speeds and everything. And you guys were about to go to bed for the day and everything, get ready for the night ahead. And I was going to stay up and try to catch up to everyone else's level. And then out of nowhere, the room just got completely dark and loud thunderclap and then power out. And I was just sit there, just pretty much a puddle in my own making, just like, oh, what's going on? So
it definitely wasn't fun.
He was the sacrificial hero of the story arc because he went outside and got really wet and decided to tell the neighbors below us that it was in fact raining and windy, basically.
That's not what I said. That's not at all what I said.
He was like, yeah, these trees hang really low.
That's half of what I said.
And it was raining.
I told it.
He was just as good as the news networks telling us that there was a massive storm that just went through.
He's out there drenched and his hair's all like this and his face is like, it's raining, it's windy.
He's knocking on I just imagine him knocking on their window. Hey, it's raining outside.
So
stay inside.
What I actually did was I went outside and I moved a branch away from certain parking spaces lining the tree line, and on my way back towards the apartment, the neighbor was downstairs and I was warning her, hey, this tree was hit by lightning a while back. The tree, some of the limbs are probably gonna come off, like just to make sure, give you a heads up so that like
they had no plan of going out there whatsoever with their kids, and her car wasn't over there. So he was like, "Hey, don't do anything. It's raining and windy, and these sticks might fall."
I think he was just trying to be a good person. It's like
thank you.
It basically what he did.
Captain Obvious to the rescue. You're right. Got it.
No, this is exactly what he did. This is the same scenario. He was like, he's seen an elderly lady. She needed help crossing the street. He went to go help her and then tripped and knocked her down. That's basically what he did. That's basically how helpful he was in that situation. He might as well
take very helpful.
He might as well taken the branch and threw it through their window to let them know that it might fall.
Maximum effort. Minimal productivity.
He's out there with a chainsaw. I'm gonna take it down before the storm does.
Three branches and limbs can't fall if there's no tree.
He's saving the day.
I was just trying to be a good person.
Well, minus the storm and the power outages of Diablo 4. Have you guys watched any movies, anything new?
Go ahead, Jesse.
No,
I want to hear you.
No, that's mine. Actually, really, I haven't. Honestly, I'm not the biggest movie aficionado. That's not how I choose to spend my time, and it's really never been. I took a affectionate liking towards war movies, but that's basically the only genre besides maybe Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and the 3rd through 6th movies of the or 4th through 6th movies of the Star Wars saga. And that's about it. Otherwise, I grew up on Top Gun and Pearl Harbor and Hacksaw Ridge and Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that. But as far as movies recently, nothing. Shows, the newest season of Jersey Shore that they basically redid because LaCrista was watching it. So I'm like, this is pretty interesting.
I'll tell you what's interesting. They make them look so big in that show, and I'm not saying they're not strong or whatever. I know they gym tan laundry and they're very strong and things. But if you look up their height, the tallest one I believe is Mike the Situation. He's 5'11". And
are short.
And the rest of I think Pauly D's 5'9", 5'10", and the rest of them's 5'6".
Yeah,
And it's like Snooki's 4'8".
No way.
I swear to you.
She is fun sized. That is literally her 100%
lifestyle. True. I literally looked this shit up today, and I don't know why. You literally bring up.
That's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue.
I swear to you, that's the only reason I know their heights. Because
Jersey Shore's literally been dead for like a decade, and it's crawled out of the depths of hell and resurrected itself. And today of all days, for no particular reason, Matt's like, I wonder how tall the cast of Jersey Shore is.
Well, they're working.
Make it make sense. That's just so random. And the fact that I had to bring in Jersey Shore here, and he would of all times to randomly Google that.
I would never think that you would be one to ever watch Jersey Shore ever. I wouldn't even think your fiance could make you watch it. So I am just utterly shocked.
As a result of her being so into reality TV like that and Love Island. Like I get into Love Island, specifically Love Island Australia.
You know, I tell you a good one I used to watch. I haven't watched in a while. Is The Challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about that, but The Challenge.
I've heard about it. I've not watched it.
It's a very good one too. It's a very good one.
What's it about? A challenge?
Describe it real
quick. Is there
quick?
something else?
I mean, it's literally what it says. They throw all these people in this house, and of course they're all like, oh, they're all big and strong, and everybody's super fit. And they do these off-the-wall challenges, and then basically they slowly make alliances like any reality show, and they do all these challenges, and basically at the end of each episode, two people face off that get voted in. And they face off, and whoever wins comes back. And
so
they just,
it's like Gym Bro culture and Big Brother meets Saw.
Kind of, yeah. But they do some crazy off the wall challenges. But then at the end, which every challenge is different. They do it all differently. But it might end up being like 6 people in the finale. It might be 3, but. Either way, whatever it is, it's some crazy, like, it'll be like, you're going to eat, like, dog shit. You're going to eat bull. literally, it'll be like, you're going to run 2.
Is that just Fear Factor? Is this just
a
resurrected Fear
Factor?
It'll be like, you're going to run 25 miles, and then after you run 25 miles, you're going to eat fucking bull testicles and dog shit and centipedes, and then you're going to run another 25 miles. It's literally, that's what it is. It's absolutely crazy.
That's not
what's
the prize? What's the prize in the end? Like $1 million?
Yeah, it'd be like $1 million.
Yeah, so you're doing all that for $750K.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, a lot of people watch it. They get big. They get kind of famous. People like it. I don't know. I'm sure
it's more for just the popular vote of America, and what you sacrifice to get it is all of your pride and dignity.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're badasses, so I mean, I don't think they sacrifice that. They're pretty badasses. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to set up my own segue. Since I brought up movies, my girlfriend and I just started watching The Purge. I've watched it previously. She's never watched it. Do you guys know what The Purge is about?
Yeah.
Okay, so The Purge basically is the government decides to make, one night where all crime is legal, including murder. It's
like population control.
Absolutely chaos. Just absolutely chaos. And so with that, it brings up what this podcast is about: hypothetical situations, hypothetical questions, anything of that genre. And so you guys are going to have to answer hypothetical questions, and it'll go Jesse first, Alex after that. It'll be the same. I'm excited. And then it'll be Alex and Jesse for the next question. It'll just flip-flop back and forth.
All right.
Okay. And before we get started, Alex, take your headphones off, get the fuck out of the room, because I got to talk to Jesse privately. And he can text you and or yell at you to come back in the room.
If he comes out to the room, he's just going to hear me.
Well, what I could do is just take these out, and then you just need to flag me down.
That's whatever makes it to where you can't see us, read our lips, and or hear anything. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, just turn around, and we'll wave you down via...
You got your phone on you? Good. Jesse will text you.
He just scoots out of frame. We just put him in timeout.
So I wanted to play. I wanted to play a little game because I thought hypotheticals wasn't going to be fun enough, Jesse. You know that?
Oh God!
So
you're gonna M. Night Shyamalan this shit. It's too early for this.
I want you to write down 3 words. I want you to write down 3 words. Cheesecake.
Okay, hold on. Cheesecake.
Flabbergasted. Zigzag.
Oh my God.
You better look at them carefully because you're going to have to pick one. Okay. So the rules are, Jesse.
If he turns around one more time, I'm gonna spaz.
Is he that fucking stupid? We said we would text him. Okay. So the rules are really simple. You have to use whatever word you pick, which you and I are going to know. You have to use one of those words in every single one of your answers of your hypothetical. So if you go first, if you go first, you have to use that word in your hypothetical before Alex answers. If Alex goes first, you have to use it. You have to use it during your time frame.
No matter what, who goes first, I have to use it in mine.
You have to use it in your answer, not in his. So you can't turn the fuck around. You can't. What's its deal is, but you cannot use it when he's answering. So you can't just if we're all bullshitting about his hypothetical answer, you can't use it in that. You have to use it in your answer. If you fail to use it in every single one of your answers, you will lose what I'm calling the word game very creatively. This has nothing to do with MVP. This is just the word game. This is extra.
This is the game within the podcast.
Exactly.
This is like an Easter egg.
If you use it in every single one of your hypotheticals, then Alex is going to get 1 to 3 guesses. I'm going to get to pick that at the end. I don't know if it'll be 1 guess or 3 guesses. Depends on how hard I feel like this is. And if he guesses it right, he wins. If he guesses it wrong, you win. And you can't mumble it under your breath. You have to actually use it very clear.
I have to not go out of my way to make it more or less obvious. Just like I'm saying a sentence right now.
Just saying a sentence right now, just normal. You can't mumble it under your breath. You can't bullshit it.
I use this word quite frequently as it is, so I'll make good use of it.
So what word are you going to use?
Flabbergasted.
Okay, sounds great. All right, text Alex. Tell him turn around.
I texted him.
And watch, he'll never turn around again.
Okay.
We've been. Hold on. We've been fucking waiting on you. What have you been doing? We've been trying to get this fucking podcast on the road here, and you've been just turned around.
I don't think he's committed, Matt.
All right. So can you talk? You back? You hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to play a fun game. The rules are very simple. Jesse has a word that him and I know, and he is going to use it in every one of his answers. He has to. If he doesn't use that word in every one of his answers, he loses. If he uses it in every one of his answers, at the end of this podcast, you have to guess. You'll get 1 to 3 guesses, depending on how hard I think it is. You get 1 to 3 guesses. If you guess correctly, you win. If you guess
the word
wrong,
is?
Yes. If you guess wrong, he wins. And I'm calling it the word game. This isn't for MVP whatsoever. This is just the word game. It's a game within the game. Okay? But I would take it very seriously. Now,
all right.
Now, the hypotheticals, I'm judging MVP based off of creativity. 3 things I'm basing it off of: creativity of your hypothetical, the humor in your hypothetical, and logic in your hypothetical. Those are the 3 categories I'm judging your hypotheticals on. Now, Jesse, you are going first on this hypothetical. And the reason I made the segue is because the first hypothetical, which I came up with this morning, is going to be about the purge. So, if we were thrown into a purge and you had to survive the night, what is your game plan?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
No pressure, but you must survive. No pressure. And only you, so don't worry about your fiance, your dogs, your pets. I'm talking you. Now, if you want to throw all them in there and you want to keep the whole fam alive, I understand. But the goal is you survive.
So no matter what, they're merely just the weight on my back at that point.
I mean, pretty much. I mean,
I already know the dogs and cats would get me killed.
They're holding you back. You might have to ditch them all.
It's like, go be free. I have to get out of here. They would be standing there after I tell them to leave. They'd be looking so flabbergasted, just like, why do you tell me that? They would follow me. They wouldn't go anywhere.
They're gonna be barking. You're gonna have like 5 animals. They're gonna all be following you everywhere. They're gonna be like following you like lost pups.
Well, where he's up to? I go where he goes.
So let me write this down real quick. So, do not die. All right. So,
die.
First things first. Wherever Alex is, whether he's in the room or not, whether we're a team or not, I go in there and use one of my keys to one of his gun safes, and I steal a handgun.
But that's risky because you're stealing a handgun from Alex. What if he gets pissed and kills you?
Well, then it's his is locked up. Mine isn't, so he dies. Okay. If he tries to stop me, then he's gone.
Okay, all right.
So I grab that, and I'm going to assume that I've gone on Amazon and ordered a case of MREs.
So you've prepared?
Yeah, I prepared.
So you need MREs for 12-hour purge night.
Yeah.
You might get hungry.
Yeah, there's 12 in a case, so I know I for a fact 24 hours would be fine.
Some people fast for 12 hours.
You
could make it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I might bring like 3. I might bring 2 that I know I'm going to eat, and a third in case I'm just really I'll be fine.
Right.
But I stuffed 3 of those in whatever clothing I'm wearing. I shove them like in my ass crack to keep them warm. That's the only place they would stay tucked.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about plastic bags. Makes too much noise. If it's in my ass, It's muffled. It's muffled by my pants and my cheeks. So, it's fine.
Yeah.
I tell, because I mean, no one's going to come into a home with animals, right, and just like kill them. They're not going to really do much. My animals won't, at least. So I tell LaCrista and Alex, if he's there, I'm telling him to come with me, and his girlfriend. I'm gonna tell everyone, come with me or stay here. I don't care, but I'm literally running away to a spot out where I grew up in where no one wants to go. And no one would want to go because it's out in BFE. There's nothing valuable out there besides land, and no one. What?
I'm just saying. So you're bringing 4 of them if they want to come, or 3 of them. You're bringing 3 of them. You have a group of 4. Now, what if Alex screws you on an MVP on the podcast, or you screw Alex on MVP on the podcast, and he decides he's going to kill you? You don't know this. This is risky. But I understand what you're saying. It's also beneficial to have numbers.
I'm gonna ask him to bring the second handgun. And it is going to stay in the center console of my truck.
Okay.
No one else will have access to it unless they acquire my keys.
So they have to abide by your rules. You're the leader.
Yes, I've assumed complete leadership, responsibility, and control at this point. Our life and death hinders solely on my decision making in this 24-hour period.
Okay.
So I guess at that point we put the whole 12-pack of MREs either in the bed or just somewhere in the back seat, and we go out to New Goshen. I have 20/20 vision, so I drive with the lights off depending on when this happens. I'm driving with the lights off and going solely by the moonlight if it's clear. If it's dark, then I'm merely looking at the shadows of the potholes.
It's a new moon. It's pitch black outside.
It's pitch black. It's new moon. That's terrible. That is the worst circumstance possible. There's no natural lighting whatsoever.
I just made it up. That's the power of being the host, you bastards.
All right. Well, fair. So I go out to this spot in New Goshen completely blind and hope that I'm not hitting trees. There's not much else out there besides fields. So, and if there's houses out there and random light posts throughout the countryside, so I'll use that for navigation. I know that place like the back of my hand. So we go out there. We go to the secluded wooded area where I know that there is shelter, and we just the ladies will stay on guard, or they will me and Alex will be on guard. The ladies will do whatever they do as long as it's not too loud, and no fire, no nothing. The MREs can be eaten, and you can drink out of it without any type of heat source, so we don't need a fire. And we hunker down, and my truck will be parked in the shrubbery at all costs. I don't care what gets damaged. I'm uprooting trees. I'm scratching the paint, ruining the popping a tire. I'm doing whatever I got to do to park that truck and conceal it. Me and Alex take 3-hour shifts of post.
Oddly specific. 3-hour shifts.
That would be 8 shifts for him and I both.
He actually started a union. You guys get your 15 after 3 hours. It's mandatory.
Oh, that's messed up.
If he fucks around with you,
we have unionized in a matter of 30 minutes. We have created a 4-person...
During a purge as well. During the middle of a purge, we decided to unionize.
When law and order are non-existent, we have created a union just for the sole fact of having one. To know that we are protected by ourselves, and if we die, our union dies. We do that much, and we just kind of lay down and hope that the wildlife doesn't get us. And if so help me God, if anyone turns on me, they are goners.
Okay. And that's it. That's it. That's your.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, all of a sudden, a group of 10 people showed up. What are you doing?
I tell Alex to prone crawl through the bushes and the shrubbery to the truck after I take the one key to my truck, which is not jingly, because that's all I took was the one key to my truck.
Okay.
And he prone crawls without making noise.
Okay.
And he goes and gets the other gun.
Use him as a sacrifice.
if stuff goes south, me and the girls are staying quiet, and Alex dies. So that's just what happens.
All right, I like it. All right, so you're done, Jesse, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Alex, it's your turn.
Well, I just have a few things to say about that plan. So, to begin with,
this is your plan.
No, I know, but I just want to say my keys. So, if he were to come in here and threaten to kill me, I have one right beside my bed. I would just send him off to hell first if that were to happen. But that's not my plan. You see, my plan is I would have a firearm for each one of us. I specifically have 4. Okay.
All right.
We would have to take a bit of a trip. Me and Jesse, we would go into two separate groups, right? So it would be Jesse. However we break it accordingly. I have 2 firearm here, and then I'm not going to disclose where the other 2 are.
What do you mean? However you break it? So you're going to send the 2 girls off by themselves and the 2 men in a group?
That might
be beneficial for you. It might help you survive. Might be logical.
Possibly, but I don't know yet. Pretty much, I'm just going to leave that. Let's assume that in this situation, I'm going to have Jesse go with LaCrissa, and I'm going to go with Lauren, okay?
All right.
His job is to gather up the MREs and to get the truck all loaded up and everything. My job is to go off to the other location.
You guys are losing me with the MREs. You could survive 12 hours without food, for Christ's sake.
It's 24 hours. It's literally 24 hours. It's not 12, it's 24. When do you especially with adrenaline and shock going through your system, it's
from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I just watched the movie. That's what we're going with.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I'm the host. So I'm right. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair.
Okay, 12 hours. You're getting Jesse's getting MREs. Gotcha.
Me and Lauren.
Okay.
I tell her to hunker down in the car. I give her the smaller gun. I walk in to a gun store. Kill everyone in there. Just immediately start blasting. Take up as much ammo as I can. And for specifically the firearms that I own. And then we converge, me and Jesse, fairly, because we grew up pretty close together, me and Jesse. We're going to converge pretty close to his property. And then we're going to drive together. We're all going to get into Jesse's truck, and we're going to floor it to wherever this spot is that he's saying. I don't know where it is, but we're just going to floor it there.
Headlights on or off?
Off. No, we can't. I mean, it's a small town. I mean, if but that's the problem, though. Everyone out there is going to have the same idea. So instead of trying to get there all silent like and everything like that, the moment I see someone, I am popping them. Just taking them out one by one.
You're not even asking them. You're just shooting them.
Nope. You can't take chances. It's a purge. It's a purge, and everyone out there is crazy. We cannot take chances.
Right.
So, from there, I am busy. I will tell one of the girls, if not both of them, to load up the extra mags that I had just stolen from. During the situation. Me and Jesse, we are doing a perimeter search. We are checking out the area. We're making sure that it's hunkered down. If we see anyone come on by, we are just stealthily just going to wipe them out. Just assassinations from Call of Duty type of style.
So do you have silencers? Because you didn't say that.
I do not.
Okay, it's not that stealthy.
But
you get one shot of stealth.
I have knives. Knives.
All right, I gotcha. And that's your plan. In terms
of, that is my plan. Just kill everyone on site. And if they get too close, try to do it stealthy.
Well, you're getting a deduction just for the fact that you almost said the same plan Jesse did.
That was almost identical, except for the G.I. Joe tactics.
and you both are getting deductions because you've got a whole year to plan for this, and you decide to get MREs and ammo during the purge night. You have all year.
Life's crazy, man. You don't know.
You have all year to plan for this.
What if you got distracted throughout the rest of the year?
Well, that would be really dumb and not smart of either one of you to not prepare for this.
I have such
fair enough.
astronomically large amounts of faith in myself that I know that I would overcome the odds.
Okay.
And with a mindset like that, I can't fail.
I'm too stubborn to die. That's just all I'm going to say. I'm too stubborn.
That's bullshit, but I'll take it. All right. Moving on to the next question. I wasn't impressed with either one of those answers. So you both suck butt, but it's fine. Because you know what? Chicken butt. We're moving on to the next one.
I hate that you said that.
We're moving on to the next one. So, could you guys survive? This one's both of you because you both live in the same house with the same amount of pets. Could you guys survive if out of nowhere every pet in your apartment went absolutely rabid? They went nuts. They wanted to kill you and you specifically, and no one else is in that apartment. So it's you by yourself. And I don't want no bullshit hypotheticals where, well, I'm walking around with both pistols on me, dual wielding, and I'm ready for it. Nope, you're just any other day. You might be playing video games with the headset on. You might just be sitting down watching TV. You might be cooking dinner, whatever. Every animal in that apartment goes absolutely nuts. And let's remind the viewers how many pets you guys have. Because I don't even know specifically.
Alex and Lauren have a really fluffy, weird, odd cat that's very menacing. And
I wouldn't say he's menacing.
He's menacing from a distance.
And also, every door is open right when it starts. You're unaware that it's happening. Every animal can get to you.
Okay. So
how many dogs?
There's two dogs. There's a Jack Russell Beagle mix, and there's a Dalmatian Collie mix.
Okay, and how many
twice
cats?
The size of that Jack. There's two cats, one male, one female.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Oh, there's three cats.
And then Milo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we already said Milo.
Okay, so there's 3 cats, 2 dogs. Okay, and this one, Alex goes first.
Okay, so if they all went crazy,
they're killing you.
They all started attacking me. They're trying to attack me, trying to kill me.
Straight for you.
Could I make it through?
Nobody else is in the apartment. It's just you.
Right, just me.
Just
okay.
You.
So, my first goal is to kick Zero as hard as I could in the face.
Yeah, discombobulate him.
Obviously, he is the biggest animal. He is the biggest animal.
That makes me laugh.
That's messed up.
He is the strongest. So I have to kick him as hard as I can before anything. And most times than not, he is the closest. He's normally the closest next to me. So I have to take care of the closest problem first. Noel is genuinely second closest to me in terms of proximity, not in terms of how I feel about him. Noel's typically always closer, like next to Zero, so closest to me from there. I would throw her against the refrigerator, just break her back on impact. Just throw her, hope she lands on the edge. Call it done. Witcher, I feel like, would be kind of justice in a way, because Witcher is just straight up evil. And she would be the one to actually be the one to first charge me. Okay, she's going to be the one that gets like the angriest, the fastest. So she's going to charge me. I'm going to pick her up and just twist her neck. Bobo and Milo. Oh, God. Those two are going to be hard just because I can't, like, those two I would say I love the most. I don't.
His feelings are involved. They're trying to murder you. They
it's
want
like
your
Old
blood.
Yeller, right? I mean, like Old Yeller. I mean, he got rabid, and it's like putting down a dog that you love that's gone rabid. But I would feel bad. I would feel bad. But by this point, I would hope that I would know what is going on. By this
would
point,
sure
I would
hope
be.
the hell.
By this point, I'm cognizant of what is going on.
Face. You done drop kicked Zero in the face and threw Noel against the fucking fridge. I would hope you now know that every animal is trying to murder you.
Well, so I grab a knife. I grab a knife in the kitchen.
Him over here going, I'm just imagining him going, something's not right.
Yeah, I already went.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
okay.
From there, I would grab a knife and try to kill Bobo and Milo with as much respect as possible. Obviously, they're trying to murder me, but I'm just trying to make it a clean kill, just a quick in out. Try to be quick with it.
Okay.
Zero, but here's the thing. I've taken care of the smaller animals. Zero's not dead. He's just finally coming to. So I now have to wrestle against him because he's about half my weight. So he's trying to bite at me. So I have him by the throat as he's trying to bite my face off. I get him off me, and I just have to fight out his just random squirming. I would have to just choke him out. And then the moment I see him lose any form of consciousness,
what happened to the knife?
Just knife him. Knife him. Well, I'm assuming in this hypothetical, he sees that I've already killed the two cats. Now's his chance to pounce on me from behind.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he disarmed you somehow.
He knocks me over. I don't see it coming, so the knife goes flying. Meanwhile, I now have to fight him off with my bare hands. I have to choke him to get him, just to get him to no longer breathe for a split second so that I could reach for the knife and just jam it into his ear.
Oddly specific, but I like it.
Just straight to the brain.
All right, so that's the end of yours.
Yes, that is how I would do it.
That's how you do it. All right. But I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to let Jesse go, and then I'll give you my thoughts, Alex.
Okay.
He doesn't sound happy.
Yeah, he truly does not sound okay.
I'll give you my thoughts.
I'll give you my thoughts on this.
All right, Jesse, it's your go.
So, for a quick second there, I was really pondering. My phone screen was black, and I was just looking at myself, saying, "What could you do to these animals and live with yourself afterwards?" Alex went with the aggressive, violent acts against pets route.
Right.
I choose to go completely pacifist in my answer.
Okay.
He already looks unimpressed.
Okay, keep going.
I just want to say that whatever idea you have of rabid is completely wrong. Because rabid does not just insinuate that the dog automatically attacks you or cat.
Yeah.
Because you're a feral cat and a rabid dog behave similarly, but they do stuff a little bit differently.
You're gonna lose some for trying to correct the host here, so you better just.
I'm using logic, which is what you asked me to use. So if by all means,
don't you dare correct me. Don't you dare correct
that's
me.
2 corrections right there. You're contradicting yourself. I'm not correcting you. You're contradicting yourself.
That's fine.
If anything, I'm deducting points from you as a host. So that'll carry over into my next episode.
It's not looking good for your MVP, Jesse. You might want to just stop and answer.
I'm not here for prizes. I'm here for my dignity.
Well, throw your
dignity for what's right.
Throw your dignity out the fucking door and answer the question. All right.
All right. So
I'm gonna let this slide. Keep going.
Quit looking so angsty. I feel like I'm about to get a sit down talk.
Listen here, son.
if assuming you said that the dogs and cats just randomly suddenly go rabid and feral, right?
Yep, they go absolutely nuts. They're just coming straight at you.
All right, so two rabid dogs meet each other. They want to kill each other first. I'm not a concern to them.
Okay,
and rabid dogs are completely offset by bodies that are much larger than them, and you have to avoid eye contact and face your front body towards them the whole time while moving slowly.
Okay.
But they won't care because they'll be at each other's throats. And same thing with the two feral cats, especially a male and a female, because the male will try to overpower the female, especially in the feral kingdom. So the fact that they try to go after me first would not be logical to them because they automatically have competition. You have a non-spayed female and a neutered male, and a non-neutered male cat and a non-spayed female cat. That is almost a perfect combination for the ultimate animal kingdom fight. So while I'm standing there just absolutely flabbergasted as to why my pets just randomly start freaking out on each other, I'm going to be like, oh, and just like slowly like this, and then I take anything that is directly in front of me and just go and swipe it onto the floor to scare them and make them more mad at each other. And then I start screaming I just start screaming the alphabet for like 5 seconds. I get to at least H to cause some, to overstimulate their senses to cause mass confusion and chaos as much as possible. And I simply go to the cup back here that has my truck keys in it, grab them, and just walk out the door.
All right. That's yours. You're walking out the door.
I'm just walking out the door and say kill each other, basically. Worst case, I mean, I'm gonna there's gonna be a mess to clean up, from the stuff I swiped onto the floor, and then the bloody murder. Whoever's left standing, I'll check through the window to see if any of them are still chilling, and if they are, then I'll just make a case to the agency.
So you're not walking back in there. You're just calling the agency, saying, "Hey, look."
The agency in big quotes.
The agency, whoever that is.
The agency on speed dial.
Dogs and cat went nuts. There's one left. I can't walk in there. You'll need to take care of it. Yeah. So that's what you're doing.
Animal control, clean this up. Treat them like plumbers.
I don't know what happened.
Jesse, yours was great, but it was almost too logical. So I'm not a huge fan of yours. I'm glad you walked out the door, because if you were going to say you were going to fight or kill the last one, I was going to be very upset, because the most logical thing to do in that situation was to walk out the door if they're all fighting each other.
So it almost makes too much sense.
Yeah, it almost makes too much sense. And then I'm trying to remember why I was so... Oh, I remember why I was so pissed at Alex. Is the fact that I'm a dog person, and you're worried about ethically killing the two piece of shit cats, okay? Listen.
So...
You choked out a dog, but you stabbed the cats. So I don't need any explanation that's not good in my book. So,
well, can I justify? Do I get a chance to justify?
You got 10 seconds.
Both Milo and Bobo are much smaller and easier to control. Plus, I have more love towards them. Meanwhile, Zero is much bigger and much more.
10 seconds.
I don't give a shit. All right, on to the next one. Alex, kiss my ass.
This has to be a quicker round.
Yeah. Yep, this one's going to be a quick round. And this is not the last round. So this is Jesse's
question, right?
Jesse goes first.
Okay.
Would you take $1 million, but you lose 1 year of your life? And that means if you were going to die in 6 months, you hit that button. Let's say it's a button. You hit a button, you lose 1 year of your life. and you get $1 million. But if you were going to die in 6 months, you're dead. If you're going to die in 10 years, you got 9 years left. So basically, if you're going to live to you're like 82 and you're 25 right now, whatever, you're good. You're good. You could hit the button quite a few times. You got a lot of years, a lot of millions, but you don't know when you're going to die. Would you hit the button and how many times?
My straight-faced, bold-faced, just plain answer would be I would hit the button. Are we starting the from the top down? So it'd be like starting at 100.
What do you mean you're starting at 100?
You're pressing the button to take years off your life, or do you just take 1 year off?
Listen, you're hitting the button, but there's no years. Like if you're gonna die, like let's say you're 30 years old, because that's just easy. You're 30 years old and you're gonna die at 32. You hit the button. You can hit it twice and you're dead. You can hit it once and you got a year left and $1 million. If you're 30 years old and you're gonna live to 100, you could hit the button 10 times and you still got 60 years left and $10 million. You do not know how long you're supposed to survive.
Okay, so I am literally able to hit the button as many times as I want and get as much millions of dollars as I want.
Exactly. You could hit it fucking 400 times. Now, I don't know if you'll live to 400 and some years old, but
I'm losing years off my life.
That's exactly right.
So what does the maximum counter go from like 1 to 100? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, so you're 1
year old to 100 years old.
Yeah, we'll say that. You can't go past
just for the sake of brevity, just that, because I need that for my answer. I press it exactly 25 times because 75 is around the average life expectancy. So I get $25 million, and whatever happens after that.
So
I will press it the 25 times, whether I die tomorrow or 50 years from now. I don't care.
That's wild.
I will shoot for the average life expectancy, and if I press it more than 5 times, I will be impressed, and I will at least die knowing with the little brain activity I have left that I was going to live at least 5 years more. So, now, I don't know, because that is what I would do, but I would be. So this button just randomly appear? Does someone say, "Hey, here's a button, press it," and they say what you said, or do I get to go somewhere? Is there like a street and an address where this button exists where I can press it?
It's what were those old buttons? The red easy button, was that a big thing, or what were those?
So I have to go to Office Depot or Staples to get. That's the only 2 places this button exists.
Jake from State Farm pops up. He has the easy button. No,
it's just random chance if he ever pops up in my life.
He just pops up and he's like, "Hey, use State Farm, and by the way, here's this button.
We have a new promotion.
You can hit this button, you'll get $1 million. It'll shave a year off your life. If you're going to live to 100, you hit it quite a few times. If you're going to live to next week, you hit the button, you're dead." And that's what happens.
My first impression would be, if Jake from State Farm came to my doorstep and knocked with the button, I would be absolutely puzzled, shook, flabbergasted, absolutely just in awe, because I go with a completely different insurance bureau. So why he would be there would be like, at first I'd be like, "Dude, are you like a Jehovah's Witness? Why are you here? Why didn't you just leave the pamphlet on the doorknob?" But then I open the door and he's like, "Oh, look at promotion." And I'm like, "That's messed up, but okay."
I don't even have that insurance, but okay.
I go through Farm Bureau. I go through a different farm insurance company. So I'd be just lost, but I would still comply with his demands, and I would simply just do the 25. I would shoot for hitting it 25 times, so I either get 25 million or I die sometime within that first or 25th press.
Okay.
because that's already a random chance right there. So I might as well make the most of it.
So let me ask you this. What is it with 25 million? Because you could probably just, in theory, hit it once, maybe twice. You got $1 million, $2 million. You still got quite a bit of years left theoretically if you live to the average life expectancy. And then with $1 million, $2 million, you might not be able to just survive off of that but then you could really use that money to benefit you and jumpstart whatever projects or things that you want to do with your life. You're just basically hitting it 25 times going, fuck it.
Because worst case, if I die before that 25 million, then my successors, my beneficiaries, the later parts of my family tree, whoever I spawn into this world, or if that doesn't happen by that time, then LaCrista or Alex here or any of you guys could split up the money, or you guys could put it into whatever type of financial institution. Or
so am I on that will?
I can't disclose this information.
I'm just asking a question. This you have
you
to
would
tell
you would
me.
be you could be a possible recipient of some of the money.
Am I or not? I'm the host. You got to tell me right now.
You get host privileges. You have a different section on the will.
If you hit it 24 times, you got $24 million. Do you slide me in $1 million in the will?
I'd slide you at least $1 million.
All right, that's it's going to help you out in this MVP race. Yes. Good answer.
Yeah, buttering them up. He didn't say that wasn't allowed.
All right, Alex. Let's hear yours.
So, I would use mine for purely altruistic purposes. And I'll be like, all right, look, I'll have it all written out where pretty much I'm going to spam that button as fast as I can. And I'm going to have it written into my will. Like, I'm just going to have, like, right beside my body, I'm going to have, like, a piece of paper or whatever.
Let me change yours because I don't like your answer. Your death isn't painless. You drowned.
He's standing up in his room.
Fighting for your life for 5 minutes underwater because you got great lungs.
Teleported to the Atlantic Ocean.
All right, so...
You spend the first hour in the
Imagine
Atlantic.
just doing this, pressing the button, and then you just get, and
Bubbles.
then you're all the way in the North Atlantic Ocean, and you're just feeling your lungs burn.
You spend the first hour in the Atlantic Ocean swimming, praying that sharks don't get you as you see fins swim around you, and one of them eventually after the hour takes your foot off that you then now can't swim, and then you slowly drown to death. That's your death because I hate your answer.
North Atlantic Ocean.
I don't want no logic.
Sure.
I don't give a shit if it's cold or warm. It's 70 degrees.
That's... So now you're going. So all right, now I'm questioning the host a little bit. So we do not need logic. Does not.
It's hypothetical, and I just changed the rules.
You said use logic. You said use logic. Anyway, so the thing about me is I've came to terms with death a long time ago. I've already came to terms with that, and in terms of how I die or when I die, that does not play any factor to me anymore. I could die 10 seconds from now by a gunshot, or I could die 30 years from now being lit on fire. I've relatively came to terms with that. In terms of, I don't know how I'm going to die or when, whatever.
Okay.
All that matters to me at that moment would be I am taking care of as many people as I can in my closest proximity of my life.
You just sacrifice yourself.
Yes, I would write it out to where everyone gets a percentage, like the same. I would say same percentage, but I'm gonna leave more to my mom. say she's going to get 25%, while the rest of the 75 is all split up amongst evenly across everyone else. And from there, I just look at that button and just rack it on up, and then next thing you know,
this was a one-way ticket.
Am I on the will?
Yes, I said closest proximity, so everyone that is currently in my life that is more than just like on a associate level, you know what I mean? Where
So,
like I not just I associate with you, but I actually have spent time with you outside of work, or you mean something to me to some capacity.
all right. I mean, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna hurt you because you copied Jesse again. I don't like that.
No. No, at first he said that he added math, so he said that he was going to be able to live. He did say that he was going to be able to live by only pressing it 25 times at first.
But you put me on the will. That's what I'm. That you put me on the will just like Jesse, and that's hurting you because that's what Jesse did. It's
sorry that you're a part of my life. Sorry that you're a part of my life, I guess.
Okay. I'm just imagining Alex gets his will set up. Jake from State Farm standing there. He's like, I'm going to make my family and close friends millions. And he just hits it once and dies. A gruesome death in the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm going to make everyone I care about $1 million. And as many people as that's on that list, everyone's getting probably $50K. He died for $50K per person.
It's like I'm like, great, I can take a couple weeks off. Thanks. We all just hate it. I love this.
Oh
wow,
man! I have so many.
Oh my god!
We're gonna do one more hypothetical, and this one Alex goes first.
Okay.
This one, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. This is one you guys are gonna need. You guys are gonna need the pen and paper of this one.
Okay. I was already looking at it. It just felt like I needed it.
I told you guys you needed it, so I have a lot of hypotheticals here, but this is the one. I've heard a few people on podcasts use it. I can't think of the podcaster I'd shout them out. If you've used it, congratulations. All right, so write down 50 hawks.
50 hawks?
50 hawks, as in the bird, hawks.
Like the number or the letters, 50?
50 hawks. I don't give a shit if you write the number or letters.
I didn't know if that was important.
No, it matters none.
Okay.
I would probably do numbers because that's easier, you jackass. All right.
Why didn't you call me names?
All right. 10 crocodiles.
Okay.
3 brown bears.
Wait. 50 hawks. I'm sorry, I missed the second one.
10 crocodiles. God damn it, this is hurting you.
I was trying to get my pen set up. It wasn't working.
3 brown bears. 15, as in 15, wolves.
Okay.
1 hunter
15 wolves?
Yes. 1 hunter with just a regular old hunting rifle. 7 buffalo.
What the fuck?
Oh, just wait.
I don't think I've made enough space.
10,000 rats.
Oh my god.
No, just keep going. 5 gorillas. 4 lions. All right. You got it all wrote down?
Is that it? Fuck.
That is it, I can assure you. So you guys have to look at those. And you get to pick 2 of them to defend you. And the rest is trying to kill you. And you are in a let's say, 2 football field size arenas. 2 football fields. Big ass arena, 10-foot wall or 20-foot walls around you. All these animals are in this arena with you. You get to pick 2 to defend you, and the rest are trying to kill you. Which 2 are you going to pick to defend you? Jesse, you get to go first, buddy.
Oh, God.
I love this.
All right, so right off the bat, simply.
Simply, as in this is so easy.
The first stage of this prompt, I'm picking the 15 wolves and the 10,000 rats to defend me.
Okay.
Because for the rats, at least, they have the numbers, and they become nuisances after just a couple. The amount of
I'm loving watching the gears turn because you've picked
I'm
these 2
thinking
animals.
about this as I'm talking, bro. I need some like WD-40 or something, man. This is hurting.
Shit, I can see the sweat. You're like, you pick these 2 animals, now you gotta roll with it.
All right, so these 10,000 rats, right?
Okay.
I tell them, without them really understanding me, I'm just telling them to make myself feel better before I get an onslaught from 50 hawks, 10 crocs, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm like trying to find something to lure them to get just in a safety circle around me. Okay.
Like a dome? Like a dome, or just a circle? I'm going
to try and get them to dome around me. I might have to just kill a couple myself to get a roof on top.
Right. I'm imagining a chain link fence of rats.
Yeah, pretty much.
You.
Like, I'm just tying their tails together, and they're like squirming around, and they're around me.
Okay,
I leave on a north, south, east, and west axis on that dome peepholes like it's a bunker.
Okay.
I'm communicating with body signals to these wolves to split up into 5 packs.
Okay.
3 wolves a pack. All right. And these wolves. Now keep in mind, I didn't use all 10,000 of these rats to build this dome. There was a few left over. You know, there's quite a bit. So what'd you say? Probably about half of them for the dome, half of them for attack and defend.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So you got 5,000 rats defending. You have 5,000 rats trying to kill somehow 50 hawks. I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one. But okay.
So I'm assuming since these 10,000 rats have gathered en masse around me, they have big bonds with each other. So when these
family,
it's like what's that movie, like Flushed Away or something that came out like in the late 2000s?
I don't know movies. I'd love to.
Flushed Away. I know what you're talking about. The mouse gets down in the sewer with the rats and the frogs.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like Ratatouille. You got the buff ass rats.
Yeah, he's up there making some stew. I got one cooking for me on the side. So make that 5,000 are defending and 4,999 are attacking and one's cooking.
What? One of the rats jumped in the fucking hunter's hat, and now you have the hunter on your side. He's controlling him with his hair.
Exactly. I have one mind control rat, and his name is Gerald. And I send him and I sick him on that hunter. And the hunter completely he gets buffed in all categories he possibly could immediately upon central hair nervous system control via rat named Gerald. So these 15 wolves are split into 5 packs, and through the sheer alphamism of all of them, they take down the 7 buffalo in a span of about 20 minutes. By this time, I'm down to only a 3,000 rat dome. So the top of it was like this, and now it's like this. It's kind of cut off, and it's right above my peepholes. So my forehead's right here. The hawks coming after me. I punched the fuck out of them. Punched the fuck out of them. I'm like, that the hawks are up to me. I count on the 3 brown bears and the wolves to go after one another. The hunter is able to take down 2 of them. The one is taken out by, I'll say, 8 of these wolves.
Okay.
I've lost a couple at this point.
Okay.
Buffalo, crocs, and brown bears are gone. The 5 gorillas, they start beating up my rat wall. And the lions go after my wolves. But the wolves have such tenacity in them that they are going for kill shots. They're going for the neck. All the lions got are big teeth and claws, but they can't get to them because the hunter is shooting them in the foot as they're running. So they limp and they fall down. This guy he's an ace. He's a sharpshooter, and his name is William. And before he runs out of ammo, he gets a shot in all the 1 foot of each of those lions. Since there's only 4, that's the last of his.
You lost me. Wait. I'm sorry. You lost me. Why is the hunter shooting the lions? I thought you chose. How is
Did you not? Did you miss the rat part?
There's a mind control rat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like
yes.
Okay,
I got it. I'm sorry.
The 4 lions are now disabled, and they have all but 3 feet, so they limp and fall to the ground. The wolves pounce on him. Absolutely pounce on him. At this point, I've only got about 4, maybe 5 wolves left. I've got maybe about 500 rats. The hunter is absolutely just completely flabbergasted as to how he's getting controlled by a rat. But he's not questioning it. He's just going along with it. He's assuming that if he makes it out alive, he's got a pet for the rest of his life and a bond that will never be broken. So I've got about 400 to 500 rats left. They've given it their all. I sick him on the 5 gorillas. The hunter sacrifices himself to one of the gorillas, and then the gorilla takes him and goes up that 20-foot wall and makes sweet passionate love to him, where they live in the jungle and the Tarzan stuff happens. So I've got now 3 gorillas to worry about. The 4 or 5 wolves take on those 3 gorillas, and while they're doing that, I take what last amount of rats I have, and I start divvying them out to go sacrifice to the gorillas. And the gorillas take about this many armfuls of the rats and just ooga booga walk off with them. And I stand there with degloved hands from the claws of the hawks getting me, but I got them.
You took on 50 hawks.
I took on 50 hawks with elbows, headbutts.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees, and toes, dude. I was Roadhouse up in there.
Okay.
And I stand victorious, waiting for someone to get me out of this fucking arena.
I like it. I'm going to have to somewhat deduct a little bit off of it just for the fact that you took my idea of mind control rat. But that's fair, and I'll let it stand. Alex, it's your go.
You see, you and I kind of differ a little bit. Because I thought you and I were going to have the same answer. I genuinely did.
I sure the hell hope not after you've copied them 3 dimes.
But then you said 15 wolves. I'm not taking the wolves. I'm taking the 3 bears. I'm taking the 10 because obviously you made the right choice with the rats. See, I've watched this scenario already.
Oh God, okay.
Where'd you watch it at? They actually had a show of it?
No, don't worry about it. So I'll read off just the easiest ones to get out of the way. The one hunter you can easily send. I'm sending 100 rats against him, and they are chewing him up alive. There's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it. He might take off 3 to, I'm assuming, a hunting rifle, so I'm assuming bolt action. he's maybe gonna get off 3, maybe 4 rounds before they end up climbing up his legs and up his arms and all that and just eating him alive. There's no hunter, okay? All right, let's get that one out of the way first. Second off is the wolves. Now, yes, the wolves have a little bit of a group mentality. They have the pack mentality. However, they do not have that much protection. And comparatively to really anything else, the bite strength, now besides the rats, the bite strength they have possibly the least. So those rats are also fucking up those wolves easy. Now with that, I'm sending about 1,000. Okay, to take out the 15 wolves.
A lot of faith in your rats.
I do because rats are huge. I think you're also misunderstanding that too, which also feeds to Jesse's point. Go ahead.
Where are you at in all this? Because I was protected. We're assuming that you were just invincible and nothing's getting to you.
No, hold on, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So
sorry, I didn't give you a chance. I'm sorry.
He's got one of the bears dressed up in a security outfit. Protect.
I have about currently right now. I have about 2,000 rats protecting me. Okay. I'm just starting to list them off. Two of the bears are currently fighting the gorillas. Now let me put you in. So this debate has been going on forever. Who would win, a gorilla versus a bear? And it's because gorillas can lift up to 3 times more than a human. They're obviously stronger. Their bite force is immense. Bears dwarf them by a large percentage. Gorillas are only on average somewhere between, I think, 4'8" and 5'3", if I recall correctly. Bears are 8 feet fucking tall. And they have a natural bulletproof...
Googling something.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Bears are naturally pretty much bulletproof for the most part. They have a very thick layer of fat, skin, fur, whatever you have on there. They are practically tanks in an animal form. A bear is swiping off its head. Okay. Easy.
The bite force of a bear is 1,250 pounds per square inch, and a bite force of a gorilla is 1,300 pounds per square inch.
Yes, but you're also taking it right. But you're not taking into. Thank you. With that though, the gorilla does not have that much protection on it. Yes, it is a thick animal, obviously, but comparatively to a bear, where its entire body is protected just from the sheer amount of mass on them, that those teeth are not getting through. The amount of strength in its paws alone are enough to fight it and kill them all. Lions, practically the same thing, but they have even less padding than the lions. Than the gorillas. And there's lesser of them. They are a little bit, I'll say the lions are a little bit more aggressive than the gorillas. No. But bears in this entire list are key. Crocodiles are fucked. I'll say that now. Crocodiles are fucked. They're Crocodiles are completely fucked in this. They cannot win from the mere fact of they are slow as hell. Now, if this was in the water, I would take the crocs. But it's not.
I throw a swimming pool in there.
What's that?
I might throw a swimming pool in there. I don't know. I'm going to let you keep going.
Well, if that's the case, going off of how crocs behave, they would only stick in the water. They would not try to move out of that. If I were to be placed in water, different story. So let's see. The wolves are dead because of the rats, because of just the sheer numbers of alone. Hunter's dead because of the rats. All I needed to shed was 100. Let's see. Gorillas are dead after sending 2 bears. Bears fuck them up. So the other 2 bears help out the 3rd bear that is actively killing the lions. They get slaughtered, but for the sake of, I'm not saying that these bears are obviously invincible. So the one that was taking on No, hold on. The lions that were initially taking on the one bear, that one's dead. So I only have 2 bears left. I would say I have about, by this point, I have about 6,000. Yeah, 6,000 rats to take on 10. The biggest problem is the hawks.
Do you have
I'll
a
say
calculator of rats right now? You have a rat counter going on?
Going on in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I was pretty accurate with describing my number of rats.
So let's see, 10,000 rats. So I only had to send 100 for the hunter.
No. You don't need to go over. I was just double checking. If you're confident in it, then you're confident in it.
Yeah, I only had to send 100 for the hunter. Let's say I would send about 3,000 for the wolves, and I'll send another. Yeah, and then the 1,000 protecting me. So that's what, 3,000, 4,000. So what, 4,000? I have 4,900 to use actively. Let's see, crocs. Here's the thing about crocodiles. They are actively killed by jaguars constantly in Florida. Jaguars have an incredibly strong bite force, but they have just about the same as a bear. Actually, look that up real quick, Matt, if you will.
I'm not, but I'll take your word for it.
All right. So, because the thing with jaguars, they have the strongest bite force out of the big cat family, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And most of that is going off of purse size because they aren't as big as, say, a tiger or a lion. Bears, if I remember correctly, they have roughly the same amount of bite strength, and they also have much stronger arms. So with the 2 bears, and I would say 2,000 rats, I'll be able to take on those crocs. The big problem is the hawks because of the Jesse's face.
Apparently, you could just punch the hawks. So, I mean, unless you're just useless in this.
Here's how I would say is the best way I could take out the hawks. So say the hawks are immediately charging up. So the hawks, they're coming for me, right? The 1,000 rats I have protecting me. So imagine this, if you will. Hawk comes down. Instead of, they're trying to get down. Rats are roughly anywhere between, if I remember right, they can get up to like 6 or 8 inches long, if I remember right. Just their body. I'm not factoring their tail. Depending on where they're from. So they're going to try to go. They can only really hold 1 rat at a time, roughly. They're only going to get 1 rat at a time.
All right.
Well, I'm going to order my rats to every single time 1 comes down, 3 go, like, attach themselves to attack the hawks from there. And like as they're trying to fly and take off, they're just attacking the hawk.
Okay. So then that'd be 200 rats, right? You lost 200 rats.
I lost 200 rats taking out the 50 hawks. Then, meanwhile,
how many animals do you have left? How many animals are trying to kill you?
What's that?
How many animals are trying to kill you at this point? How many are left?
The buffalo and crocs.
Okay.
You better find a solution fucking fast.
Yep, you got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Buffalo, they're naturally more docile, so the bears are just ripping through them as fast as possible. There is no, like, they're just naturally docile. And then crocs, I would say, yeah, the crocs fucked up one of the bears and about another 1,000 of my, like, the rest of the rats. But I still have about 3,000 rats left, so I'm sending the rest to kill the buffalo.
Okay. Bonus for getting it done in 30 seconds.
Boom.
But you're going to lose some because that was painfully unfunny. The entire time. I didn't laugh one time besides how painfully unfunny it was. It almost became funny. So for that, I'm going to have to deduct some off of there.
That's got to be a major deduction, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not looking good for Alex after
Whoever's
that
listening
last
to this
one.
probably asleep by now. This might as well be a video they fall asleep to at this point.
You know, I don't know if
Sure.
they fell asleep. If they did, you know, whatever. If they didn't, it's getting to the best part. So, Jesse was successful in using the word we came up with in every single one of his answers. And because I find it going to be very challenging, I'm going to give Alex 2 guesses to be successful.
That's more than one.
And how awful your guesses are, I might give you a 3rd guess. I hope you was paying attention when Jesse was talking.
I was trying to as much as possible, but...
You got 10 seconds.
For both?
For one.
Better make it count.
Punch.
Wrong. I'm going to give you 3 guesses because this is terrible. All right. You got 10 more.
I object.
I object. Nope. I'm the host. I'm the boss. I'm the host. I'm the man. Fair. You got 10 more seconds starting now.
Key.
Good God. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. It's a very unique word. 10 more seconds. It's not key or was or the or punch or fucking dumb words. It's a very unique word for crying out loud.
Dignity?
The word was flabbergasted. So Jesse,
that's why I said in the beginning, man, I use this word on a regular basis. It's almost too good.
The 3 words he had was flabbergasted, zigzag, or cheesecake.
I don't know if I could implement zigzag. Cheesecake would have been fucking hard.
I mean, they were all very unique words. I figured if he was really paying attention, it would be pretty easy. I thought it might get a little hard if Jesse was smart and would use very unique words constantly throughout each one. But at the end of the day, Jesse won the word game. Now, as far as MVP, let me tell you, this is my notes. I got a lot wrote down. For MVP, I was basing it off of 3 key points, and that was creativity in your answers, humor, and logic in your answer. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't give a rat's ass about humor, creativity, or logic. It was just the word game. Congratulations, Jesse, on winning the MVP. Woo! And I told you guys it would be completely fair. I gave each and every one of you every chance to win. I gave you guys the answers to the test. I gave you every single thing.
You didn't give me anything.
I gave you exactly what you needed.
Gave you a fighting chance.
I gave you a fighting chance, and you fucking failed. All you had to do was pay very close attention to Jesse and what word he used in we went through 4 hypotheticals. 4 hypotheticals. He said flabbergasted 4 times, and you never caught on. Your guess was fucking punch. Ooh. So with that, Alex, do you have a loser speech?
Well, I will say that I congratulate my fellow podcaster Jesse, the MVP of this episode, the most valuable podcaster of this episode.
That's right.
And he is just, I mean, what can I say? He's obviously the greatest right now. And I'll be sure to try better next time. And honestly, fair. It's a fair loss.
You had to do it.
I knew he was going to do it.
That's fair.
Jesse and I actually talked about that today, and you did it. And I'm ashamed that you did it. All right.
Don't worry, we talked about it earlier, and I told him that I was most definitely going to.
Jesse, do you have a winner speech?
You're damn right I do. I, not even for a split 10th fractal of a second, had any doubt in my mind that I would be on this fence. Alex with the eye roll. I felt it in my headphones. I had no doubt in my mind that I'd be in this position today. You could say anyone out there, that might be egotistical, but you don't understand the level of drive and passion I just put in my heart to give my all to this podcast episode today. I lost sleep over it all week just to outdo Alex.
You lost sleep because the power was out. Don't lie.
Fair. But true. But all jokes aside, all funny business aside, it was a tough competition. I was glad to be here, fighting tooth and nail for my spot in the number one slot this week. But I joined Alex in the Mile High MVP club, and that outcasts Matt as the sole person that has not yet been an MVP. So he is now at the mercy of both Alex next week and me after him the week after. So he's going to have to really just put in a 1,001% so he can be a part of this club one day.
We could pull a 2-0 lead. Imagine that.
Start running away with it.
Exactly.
I tell you what, your speeches are over because I'm the host and I don't give a shit about them anymore. Because this one was this was my hosting, and if I do say so myself, I think I was the best host there ever was, and I should have probably won MVP this episode. Maybe MVH, most valuable host. I'm going to give it to me. I'm going to give me that title.
The arrogance.
That's what I was going for. He's just like making it organic.
It's about me and not you guys.
Give it to me straight, dog.
I understand.
All I'm saying is I really was rooting for you, Alex, because of the unfairness of our pilot episode of how I lost. I mean, I think everybody was stunned. Everybody was jumping out of their chairs, throwing their hands up. Everybody was pissed. I mean, even you were stunned. I really wanted Alex to win. But unfortunately, Alex' first guess was Punch. I'm not, and then I think Key. I just can't believe those were your first two guesses. I even gave you a pity third guess that you wasted.
You gave me 3 guesses to guess out of 4 prompts, each one being roughly about 5 to 6 minutes long, where I have to find one word.
Listen.
Meanwhile, I also have to find like a way to answer the hypothetical question.
I'm the host.
It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
I'm the host.
Fair.
I'm the host.
Fair.
So
as
there
the
you go.
MVP today, I say that's fair.
Okay, I'm not asking any more from you two. I'm closing the podcast out. All right. I wish Alex would have won. Unfortunately, he didn't. I was rooting for you. Jesse won. I'm pissed about it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm putting in overtime OT next week because I'm running away with the most valuable podcaster. Pan out.
Pan out.
Pan out.